New tonight, Texas state legislators may be examining the statute that addresses whether hospitals are required to provide life support to a pregnant woman. The Marlise Munoz case in Fort Worth has exposed the gray areas that may need considering. Today, Representative For Price of Amarillo says he believes the next legislative session a year from now will take up the issue. Marissa Lucero spent time going through this statute and is here now with more on that story. Marissa?
Larry, this all came about last Sunday when the district court judge ordered the hospital to take Munoz off life support. Now, the Texas statute clearly states that no one person is allowed to remove life support treatment from a pregnant person, but that's in depth as it gets. Hospitals like Baptist St. Anthony's are looking at the statute in question in connection with the Marlise Munoz case.
Our very first priority is for the good and the care of the patient.
It's not a common case. Munoz spent 2 months on life support after meeting the clinical criteria for brain dead just 2 days after being admitted to John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth, Texas. And after a judge ordered for the 33-year-old to be removed from life support, the statute that initially kept Munoz there is under question.
The statute really does not address the situation where the patient is clinically dead and has no chance of recovery. Now, it's implicit because it is an advance directive statute, meaning these are my desires if I have no real chance of recovery.
Local attorney Sean Twing says because a person can be considered a patient without being clinically alive, the statute's intent was to protect the fetus.
At the end of the day, the hospital found itself caught between, two competing interests. There's the ethical, moral, physician's code, if you will, on one hand, and you have the statute on the other hand, which has criminal penalties.
State Representative For Price says the statute is clear, but whether or not a person who meets the clinical definition of brain dead should be considered a patient under Texas law is something that may grab the attention of legislators.
I think that between now and January 2015, when the next legislative session begins, there will be some dialogue and debate and certainly analysis over whether or not the statutes are clear or whether they're just not being interpreted consistently.
At BSA, it opens up an opportunity for dialogue.
It brings up how do we handle that? What do we do to make sure that the patient is the focus of all of our efforts? And we also have to work within the laws.
Right now, the case is still ongoing, and there's still a lot of questions of who will be billed for the hospital stay. Larry, back to you.
All right, thanks, Marissa.